to tour you around campus and show you some of the highlights and tell you a little bit about my favorite places. South Quad has a lot of dorms. There's South Dining Hall and the Rock, which is an athletic complex. From here you can also see the Golden Dome. The Golden Dome is the main administration building on campus. When I was here it used to have classrooms in it, but I'm not sure whether there's classrooms anymore. And there's no elevator. I had a class on the 4th floor with a broken foot and had to hop all the way up to my class. So the tradition is, however, you're not supposed to walk up the outside dome steps until you graduate. I guess the superstition is if you walk up first, you might not graduate, but we all made it just fine. Well, there's the Notre Dame squirrel. They are notorious for being not afraid of anything. We would be sitting on a bench and the squirrel would literally run right over your feet, like it's about to do right now. The squirrel actually has his own Twitter account. If you go to ND Squirrel on Twitter, you will see the Notre Dame squirrel. So there you have it. Here's a statue of Father Sorin. He is the founder of Notre Dame. He came from France to South Bend, Indiana to form the university. The joke is that Father Sorin wanted to put Notre Dame in California, but when he got South Bend it was raining and he decided he'd wait till the weather got better. Well, weather never got better, so here we are, over 150 years later. Father Sorin also has an account on Twitter too, which is pretty amusing, but you might want to check it out. It's at Father Sorin. Right now we're standing in God Quad next to the statue of Jesus. Primarily this is called God Quad because the church is right behind me and a statue of Jesus. There's a dorm right here. This dorm is Sorin. It's Sorin Hall. It's named after Father Sorin. When I was here, the president of the university, Monk Malloy, he lived in the corner room on the 1st floor in that little turret. That's where he lived. He lived in a dorm with all the students, so it was pretty great. You could go have access to the president of the university at any time. He also taught an English class, so he was very in touch with the students when he was president. This is the Basilica of Sacred Heart. It's the main parish on campus at Notre Dame. However, all the dorms do have chapels in each of their dorms, so you don't have to go to Mass on Sunday at the big church and get all dressed up. Most of the students tend to go to church in their dorm at 10 o'clock at night in their pajamas, which is very convenient. But we're going to go inside and show you the big church. The paintings that are on the ceiling above me were just restored right before I came to school here. When my dad was here, there was so much soot on the murals above me from the candles that used to light the church, you couldn't see anything. So the first time my dad came in here, he looked up and said, "Wow, there's actually paintings up there." So it was pretty great. Now we're going to walk up front and I'm going to show you my favorite painting. This is my favorite painting in the church. It is a painting of Our Lady of Lourdes and St. Teresa of the Little Flower. This painting is also what the grotto was built off of. We are getting ushered out of the church because they're getting ready to have a wedding today, which is almost impossible to get a wedding here. It's at least a year in advance to book it. And they have a certain day every year where you can call. So on opening day, you get all your friends and make your phone calls to get your wedding date. But we're going to walk outside and go check out the grotto. This is one of my favorite places on campus. It is the Grotto. It is built as a replica of the Grotto in Lourdes, France. It's after Our Lady of Lourdes and St. Teresa of the Little Flower. There's actually a stone in the grotto from the grotto in Lourdes, and during finals week this place is ablaze with candles because everybody comes to say prayers and light candles. So. The official name of Notre Dame is Notre Dame du Lac, which means Our Lady of the Lake. There are two lakes here on campus. We are standing here at St. Mary's Lake, and the other lake is across the way at St. Joseph Lake. You can see there's just a little patch of water left. The lake is almost completely frozen. We used to do a lot of jogging around the lake. It was a great, very serene place to think and clear your head and get ready for that next big exam. This is the dorm that I lived in, Siegfried Hall. It opened the year before my freshman year, so we were the second class in this dorm. However, now the boys have taken over Siegfried. It's no longer a girls' dorm. And of note, Mike Golick from ESPN, his son, Mike Golick, lives in this dorm. Now, I played football for my dorm, and this is a Letterman jacket that I got. We won the Inter-Hall championship, and we got to play our final game in Notre Dame Stadium the day after the Snow Bowl in 1992. This is the Hessburg Library behind me, and the mural that you see on it is called Touchdown Jesus because he's got his arms up. Looks like he's signaling a touchdown. The library is the Hessburg Library. It's named after Father Hessburg. He was the president of Notre Dame back when my dad was here in the 60s. And he's 90 years old and he's still very active in the university. Behind me is Notre Dame Stadium, the house that Newt Rockne built. It's a beloved monument here on campus, and when they made the stadium bigger in the 90s, they actually built a stadium around the old stadium because no one wanted to do anything to mess up the house that Rockne built. So when you go inside, you see the old stadium in between the walls of the new stadium. It's ranked on ESPN as one of the top 20 destinations, and it's one of my favorite places on campus. One of my favorite moments in Notre Dame Stadium was the 1992 Snow Bowl between Penn State and Notre Dame. We had 17 seconds left, and Jerome Bettis scored the touchdown to tie the game. And, well, I guess we were down by 1 point. So our choice was either to kick the extra point to tie the game, or to go for 2 to win. So Lou Holtz decided to go for 2. Rick Meyer is rolling. Finally, he hits Reggie Brooks in the end zone. The entire student section is leaning forward to see the catch because it was in the corner on the very far end. And as soon as Reggie caught the ball, the whole student section fell forward. It was probably the best moment I've ever seen live. We all rushed the field, and one of my favorite players, Irv Smith, picked me up, and we're all covered in mud, and it was just an amazing experience. So if you get the chance, come see a game at Notre Dame Stadium. It's awesome. I am the biggest fan of the Big East. If you want to vote for me, you can get to it from my blog, BridgetMcGuire'sFillingStation.com, or from my Twitter account at 4leafclovergirl. Thanks, and go Irish!